So welcome to My Money Kite. Great to have you guys with us again. We're looking at My Money Dreams. So what are your dreams for your money? Now, some of them at the moment might be a bit of a nightmare, but we can turn those around. So I'm here today with Paul, who is a financial mentor, aka I call you guys superheroes. So it's great to have you with us today. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you very
So
much.
grab your workbook and you'll find this on page four of your workbook, and maybe do it with your family. But it's good to have a dream. It's really, really good to have a dream. And you might have seen this quote before. Um, Fight for your dream, and your dreams will fight for you. And sometimes you do have to fight for your dreams because no one else can see it. Sometimes when you're drowning in debt, or it just seems like it's all gloomy, like a dream is so far off. Like it's not even like to have a dream, but even to think about having a dream can be really, really tough when you're in that place. And so, we've heard a couple of different quotes at different times, but fighting for your dreams, like so. Paul, like sometimes it's just too far off. But why is it even important to have like a money dream specifically?
It's important to have your dreams, and you need to write these down.
Mm.
So and read them out aloud to yourself, so that you program your brain, because those dreams really drive you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's the mundane. It's like it's boring. But dreams are
Yeah.
exciting,
Yeah, yeah,
and
good.
they give you energy, and you want to achieve those exciting things in your life. So it's important to have dreams for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I love that because sometimes it just seems too hard, huh?
Very hard.
And you don't even want to bother dreaming because it's just never going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So why even bother, right? But so money dreams are important, and you've heard Paul say it. And so we've got an example that we're going to go through. And again, this is just an example. You just slot in your dream, but the principles will pretty much work all the way across. So say your dream is to be able to go and visit your mum in Sydney.
Right.
I'm really lucky. My mum lives like just across the motorway, so I can visit her
Right.
anytime. But you know, if it's been a while, and and you've got stuff going on here in New Zealand, being able to visit your mum in Sydney is just such a encouraging, uplifting, kind of makes your eyes open up,
Sure.
and it brightens up, to be able to have that dream. So again, this is just an example of being able to visit your mum in Sydney if that's the case. And you might have heard this quote. I've heard it many a time as well, but there's only one way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. It's not my personal dream. I don't want to eat an elephant. Don't know, Paul, if you've ever had an
No.
no,
No, not really.
no. So but again, the principle of just taking it one bite at a time, because it can be
Right.
really, really overwhelming, right? Like
Yeah.
it can be just like, oh man, it's too big. But step by step, right?
That's right. So you take action. And you decide what you're going to do. So, for example, going to Sydney to see mum, you're going to have to find out what the cost is. What are the flights cost? What's accommodation cost? So it wraps up to be $2,000. Okay, and you say, well, I like to see mum at Christmas over in Sydney, and so you're looking at a $2,000. You've got a year. That's about $40 a week. So you go, right, my goal is to save $40 a week. What can I do to do that?
Yeah, yeah. So there's maybe a couple of things that you might need to get sorted now, right? If that's the dream, and it does seem a little bit far away, but there's a couple of steps that you need to take on this side. So to try and get stuff sorted. So if that's your dream, there's a couple of things that we need to get sorted. Now, number one, at the top of the ranks is my debts. How do I get my debt sorted? How do I get my bill sorted? And we all have those car problems that always come up at the most
Inopportune times.
Yes, I was looking for the word. Thank you, Paul. But yeah, so how do you get your debt sorted, Paul?
Well, I would go to a financial mentor first thing. Okay.
Yep.
So you've got your goal. Go to your financial mentor and do a budget with a financial mentor, and your debts. Let your debts be out there. Everyone can see them, and we'll figure out a way that you can reduce your debts. Plus, at the same time, save money so you can achieve your goals. So you do both at the same time.
But what if my debt's too big? Like,
Well, if it's really big, it's over 10,000 and less, your debts is considered small.
Small. It's
Well, not so big. Small,
So,
medium.
yeah. So
down
if
there.
you think that your debt is like, you can walk in, you're like, oh man, I've got $6,000 of debt. Like, I don't want to go see Paul. They're gonna know that I'm really bad with money and blah blah blah. Like, it's not the worst debt you've seen, right?
No.
You have seen it all. So don't be whakamā to be able to think that your debt is the worst debt that you could ever see. So, sometimes you kind of think, oh man, I don't want to tell them about my debt. And like, these guys aren't going to do what I would probably do. That's why I'm not a financial mentor. If you walked in and you told me your debt, I'd be like, what the? These guys won't do that, because you guys have pretty much seen it all. So debt's manageable. These guys will help you get that debt, so that you can get ahead with money. And that's what everyone's about. So the bills,
Yeah, the bills, they're always there, aren't they? The cost of
Yes.
living's going up.
I get it.
Phone bills, power bills, water bills. We all have them. But, there's all sorts of ways we can deal with that. As a financial mentor, I will contact those people that you've got bills with on your behalf and negotiate
awesome.
with them how we can pay this off. It might be an extra $10 a week or something to reduce the bill that you owe your phone company, for example. So we will take on that job of being in the middle.
Yeah,
you don't have to do anything
on
just
your
come
own
to us.
anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about these guys. Again, financial mentors, aka superheroes, they will they'll go in the round for you. They will not only help you kind of look at your debt and get you so that it's manageable, but also the bills. Because you know how sometimes you can be sitting on the phone on that 0800 number listening to that same crappy music over and over again, and to the point where your phone drops your phone drops because they've been on hold for so freaking long. Well, these guys have these kind of special Jedi mind numbers that they can call and talk to someone on your behalf for your bills. And that can be so important if you just kind of think everything's coming down on you. And so again, 3 things that you need to be able to get sorted. Now, there's maybe 3 things that you can get started with. And one of those is to be able to set up a savings account. And then there's a budget. Now, budget is not punishment, right?
No. And don't be scared. I mean, a lot of people are scared coming in and they don't want to know what their budget is. But come in, be brave, and it just shows you where you're at now. Where you're at now, this is it. And then we can actually start to solve some of the issues that the budget shows. So unless we have a budget for a start off, we don't know. We don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
So you need to come get a budget done, and then we can start the process of getting rid of the debts and the issues that you've got.
So the budget is what's actually happening. It's not kind of, how some people just want their budget to look nice.
Yeah, no. This is real.
This is the real deal. Like, this is getting
deal.
down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
This is being honest with your money and not being embarrassed. And just because you guys probably see a gazillion budgets a day, so it's not as if you're thinking, oh, what about that lady that walked in?
We don't even think about it in that way, to be honest. They're just a set of figures.
Yeah.
There's a problem there. We want to solve that, get you back on track.
So why wouldn't you want to come and see a financial mentor, right? And the other thing, great, is that you can get started getting help to get rid of your debts. Now, you mentioned a little bit of that before. So you'll ring those companies. And so I've kind of said to Paul, it's like having a tag team back in the wrestling days. Sure. Like, when it just gets too hard and your opponent looks like they're just getting a bit too big. You're still in the fight, but someone else can be tagged in for that round.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll be the man in the middle and try and get information. Sometimes people come in and they don't know what debt they've got. Wow. They know, well, I sort of know I've got a debt with that company, but I'm not sure how much it is. So we'll go and email them, and because we have a privacy waiver and we have a financial agreement with these people by law have to come back to us with the values, and then we can actually put them in the budget. So we can probably do things more efficiently.
Yeah.
If you're not afraid of asking the company, great, go for it. Sometimes I'll have a client in front of me and I'll say, right, let's ring them now.
Nice.
They talk and then I talk and they talk and we get it done. So in about half an hour, we've got it all done. So, superheroes.
That's why I call them superheroes, because I've got all these special powers. and they've got all these special techniques. Again, so you want to be able to, these are some things that you can get started to be able to get to your dream. So there's a couple of things you got to get sorted and to get started. And then the third thing is that there's maybe a couple of things you need to stop. And so here we go. Buying things that you can't afford, picking up takeaways on the way home to work, lending money to a brother when you scale. Now, these things are some things that you need to stop. And, just like a goal, maybe you need to share that with someone else to help you kind of make sure that you don't do that.
Yeah, just beware of buy now, pay later. It's so easy to buy something and you can't afford it, and you've got to pay it off over the next 6 weeks. And it really puts you in your financial position to a bad way.
Yeah.
Takeaways, they're expensive these days.
Yeah, I know. Gone are the $2 pies.
Oh, no. You never get that now.
I know.
The Big Ben pies, $2.
Not now.
So, if you've got 3 kids or 4 kids, that's $50, every time you're going. And, do that every week, and that's $2,500 a year that you could have to go to Sydney. To go down the South Island, to pay off the car, or I don't know.
So that's why it's good to have these money dreams in front of you all the time.
Exactly.
So when you're making these kind of decisions about not getting takeaways or that kind of stuff, 50, but man, you were fast on working out those numbers. Paul, again, another superhero, didn't even need to get out his calculator. I was still trying to figure out those numbers in my head myself.
Yep.
But team, that's what we're about, trying to figure out what are some of the things that you can get sorted. What are some of the things that you need to start doing? What are some of the things that you need to stop doing? And a lot of those steps all involve guys like this. So you can be able to find a financial mentor, aka a superhero, to help you get on top of your money, because you can do this. And there are lots of people that are championing you to be able to do this, that will step in the ring when you need a little bit of a break and a little bit of support. They're right here for you. So that's us, team. And we've got, you got to come back next week because there's always more, or you can go back and try and figure that out for it. Work through your workbook. That's what I was trying to say.
Good idea.
I'm thinking about the Big Ben pies. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap, and we're not going to go get pies. We're going to go eat our lunch that we bought from home. That's a wrap, team. That's thanks from us, and again, thanks Paul for being here and sharing your superpowers. Ka kite family, take care, and we'll see you again.